Good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to the garden. Today is July 16th, 2022. We are about halfway through the gardening season and the garden has taken off. We are getting ripe tomatoes finally. Cucumbers are growing in abundantly. Our strawberries and raspberries and blueberries are kind of teetering out, but we're still getting a few here and there. Some other stuff that's been happening this week. I have pretty much been harvesting zinnias for over a month now. I'm getting at least a dozen every week for a new bouquet for the kitchen. I had at least one 5-gallon bucket left of horse manure that I used in the beginning of the season, and I put it in on top of my plants, specifically the tomatoes, to help amend the soil for the rest of the season, give them a little bit more of a nutrition boost. I've been pruning a lot. It's been really hot the last couple weeks. This week we got a lot of rain, so that was super helpful to balance out that heat. But the warmer it is and the more rain you get, the bigger your plants get. The garden is crazy, let me tell you that. Another special thing that happened this week is I got to bring my nanny daughter, who's almost 2 years old, into the garden and show her where her favorite fruits and vegetables come from. It was super special. I'll let you take a look. Not that way, silly goose. Over here. This way. Come on, kitty cat, she says. Flowers. Do you want a raspberry?
Yes.
Yeah, right here. You want to eat it? You can eat it. It's fresh. It's very sweet.
Berry.
Raspberry. You want to try it? Yeah, for you. You want to eat it? You can eat it. Oh, you're sharing with the camera? Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can eat it. Yeah, it's nice and warm. You can eat it. It's very sweet.
I cry.
Yummy. Thank you for sharing.
More.
You want one more? They're right here. Here's a big one.
Green one.
Mm-hmm. That's where raspberries come from. You don't have to eat that one. If I do, oh, okay. Yummy, huh? Fresh raspberries. A little sour, maybe? Tart?
Wait.
A little tart.
Maybe.
Little tart. Sweet and tart. You want to try strawberry? You got one right here. You want to pick it? Just pull on it. Yeah. Ready? Here. A fresh strawberry. Yeah. Is it sour? Strawberries and raspberries. Fresh from the garden. They're good when they're warm. Yeah, it makes them juicier. Yeah. You want to share? Okay. Whoops. Are you okay? You can sit if you want. You want me to have it? Thank you. You want more? Yeah, we can share it. Yeah, you ate the leaves. That's okay. Those are edible too. You want to try the raspberry again? Sweet and tart. There's no cucumbers ready yet, but I can show you them. Here's, we got a cucumber right in there. See it? Right here. Baby cucumber. Yeah, it's a little pokey. It's not ready yet. We're gonna leave it on there a couple days. And then I'll bring it to your house and you can eat it at your house. It's a leaf, a cucumber leaf.
Cucumber.
Uh-huh, and it grows the cucumbers. You wanted to eat it now. I got more strawberries. You want another strawberry? Up in here. See the tomatoes right there? You want to pick one? Yep, you can step there. It's okay. It's just mud. It's just dirt. Do you want me to go first?
Me go first.
Yeah, let me go first. Okay.
I go first.
Oh. You want to come in? It's just grass. It's okay. You can step on it. Yeah, nice job. You want to pick a tomato? Yeah, pick a bright one.
A pineapple.
Oh, this is tomato.
Tomato.
Tomato. Yeah, you have to bite it a little harder. It has a hard outside. It's juice. Oh, thank you. Yeah, those are lights. You don't want the tomato? No tomato? You want me to try it?
No.
Here, ready? Here. Yeah, be careful with the lights, please. I bit it for you. You want to lick it? Juicy. Please don't pull on the lights. Thank you. All done with the tomatoes? Yeah, just like what we eat with the cucumbers at home. Oops, that's okay. You want another one? Here, don't take it off the ground. That's dirty now. You can drop it. Here, you want a new one? Do you want me to bite it for you?
Bite it.
I'll open it for you. Here you go. Vroom, vroom. There's a car.
Mama car.
Mama's car goes vroom, yeah.
Dada car.
Yeah, just car probably does too. Not as loud, I don't think. Yummy snacks from the garden. Oh, she likes it. All right, you want to go? Yeah, I'll follow you. Warms my heart. And honestly, getting to share the garden with her was really magical. Getting to see her taste those fruits from the first time, fresh from a garden, was just so special. It's definitely something I'm glad I documented and that I get to have forever. Something else unexpected from the garden that I didn't think I would enjoy as much as I do is finding spiders and other bugs that are living and making homes in my plants. I was reaching and be like, oh, hey, Mr. Spider, and grab a cucumber, or leave a dead leaf because it's made a perfect little dome home cave in there. And I found a worm the other day. Woo! That was really cool to get to see what's working in my soil and making it so great. And then there's also spiders that make big giant webs at night, like really, really meticulous, gorgeous webs from like the arch to the arch. And by the morning they're gone and the web is gone. Thanks, guys. And there's also a few bees I've had to make friends with. Put it in the beginning of this season. Woo, hello. How cool is it that a garden can actually make you enjoy and appreciate bugs? So yeah, that's just some of the stuff that happens here in the garden during the week. But today I was thinking maybe I'd give you another quick little garden tour just to see where we're at. All right, let's start with the berries. The strawberries have kind of teetered out, but I'm surprised they're now putting off some fresh flowers. Some little baby strawberries still coming. I'm getting maybe like a handful a week off both of these pots. They did start to put out runners, which means it's like propagating itself into new soil, but since there's no soil around, they can't really do that. So I cut them off just to make sure that the energy stays in the plant to produce some more flowers and berries, because I don't really need runners right now. Raspberry bush is still looking full. She's a whole lot of foliage and not so much berries anymore. But for a first year berry plant, that's not bad at all. I got a lot of berries. Very juicy berries, so we'll take these off today. Berry plant is coming back to life. I didn't have enough acidity in the soil for the first half of the season, even though I had added some, and I just didn't catch it for a long time. So the blueberry plant was kind of stunted, didn't produce flowers or berries. Got one little one in there. So now that I fixed it, it's actually finally putting out more greens, and hopefully it'll do some flowers before the end of the year, but that's okay. I'm not going to be disappointed that I'll have this next year too, and it should put off even more berries then. Let's check out these cucumbers. Like, man, that is 2 plants I got a Market More and a silver slicer, and it is just exploded. Maybe next year I'll do one, I'm not sure. I definitely love how it looks, but the fuller it is, the more prone it is to sickness and blight and just getting mildew in there. You can kind of start to see it come here. But I do have about 7 cucumbers, I think, that are about ready to pick. There's 1, 2, 3. Again, the silver slicer is the white. It's supposed to be that color. And the green is the Market More. This is going to be my first Market More, actually. Very excited about that. And on the other side, I've got, ooh, I didn't even know I had that one. So maybe 8. There's another white one. Another Market More green. Looking good. About to harvest that one, I think. And a few more maybe in here. I know we got some going up here. Another one. And I found this one right there today. So got a lot of cucumbers coming in, definitely excited. So on the other side of the trellis, we have the sugar baby watermelon. I have my first giant watermelon right here. I know it's not looking so cute in this bag, but it's all I have right now to hold it up. So we'll probably do something like pantyhose or a cut up loofah to hold that just so it gets some airflow, but for temporarily speaking, it's working out fine. Watermelon I have noticed is getting some signs of sickness. So that's another reason why I fertilized it. And you also just kind of want to cut off the lower leaves and anything that looks like it's turning yellow too soon, just to keep the plant happy and healthy. To some extent, you're going to get too much rain and you're not really going to be able to control that anymore. So just better to do it when you can. But it's definitely looking full and happy. And I do have some other watermelons that are slowly behind that giant one. It's hard to tell if they've been pollinated or not, but once they turn yellow, you can kind of tell. Let's see. Oh, here's another one right here. And that one for sure has been pollinated. It's gotten bigger. So cute. So we're gonna have some good watermelons this year. And let's jump in the inside here. In this little space here in the center, if you've been following along with my videos, I had a zucchini plant there for the first like 6 weeks of the summer. It was doing really, really great, got really, really huge. I was having to prune leaves almost every day. And I had a major storm come and hit and just like wiped it out. It just got whipped around. Oh, this tendril wants to hold on to me. It covered some of my other plants and I hadn't gotten a zucchini off of it yet, and it didn't look like it had any more female flowers coming. So I went ahead and just pulled that out, and my thoughts were maybe I would do a brassica, like a broccoli or a cauliflower, even Brussels sprouts for a fall harvest, because that's about time to start planting that kind of stuff right now. But then I realized that there's not very much sunlight on here anymore, and even if I wanted to do another zucchini, it probably wouldn't be enough sunlight for that plant to take off. So with that in mind, I decided to just amend the soil, get it prepped, and what I think I'm going to do is some kale or lettuce or romaine, maybe some arugula, carrots, radishes, and I think I might try rutabaga, because those are smaller crops you can fit into a smaller space. They don't need as much sun in the summer because it's way too hot, and usually that would cause the plant to bolt, sending up seeds instead of making a fruit or greens or whatever you're planting. And root crops don't grow really great in the hot sun either. They would grow leaves, but they won't grow the root like the carrot that you want. So I'm thinking I might plant some of that, see how it does in the sun in the hot days. If it bolts, that's fine. I'll just replant some more. And if it doesn't, then I am already starting a fall garden before the fall. So we'll see how that goes. Just check out these tomatoes. So tall. Way taller than I expected in this space. They've gone wild. They've gotten so tall they're bending over, and I'm kind of letting them go a little crazy. Check this out. Wow, love it. I love to see that. And this is a branch that's just bent, so it's doing the most right now. Wow, right? A lot of good harvests in here to come. Let me just zoom out for you. Like I said, crazy. Look at this. This is just, you know, well, I'm letting it do it. So some of these I could trim off just to help the balance and the structure. This is getting a little leggy, as you can tell, but man, it just keeps going. So full, so big. Biggest tomatoes I've ever had so far in my gardening journey. Let me show you the backside. Come around here to the other side of the bed. I've got tomatoes coming out this way too. My thoughts are when they get a little longer, kind of like the ones in the back over there. I'm gonna put them over this and kind of let them like drape down the back side of this fence and have like tomatoes growing on the other side of this fence. And then I would call it the tomato tunnel, because I'm gonna have to get in there under the tomatoes and just to even work on these plants over here. But I like it. I'm letting it go. We're gonna do it. Got some big Cherokee purples growing in here, some big boys, looking good. I think I'm gonna have at least 8. I counted the ones I've gotten so far here that haven't ripened yet on both of my Cherokee purple plants. But these guys are getting pretty tall too. Who knows what these are gonna do? I mean, it would be so heavy it might break it, but we'll see. Maybe they'll just be smaller. I'm kind of like want them to grow a little wild and just work with what I got. So that's super exciting. Let's look at these ones. I think these ones were the first to come in. I've been keeping a closer eye on these. Cannot wait to see them ripen and get to that dark purple color. Got a few more over here too. So yeah, maybe there's more than I thought. All right, let's go into the tomato tunnel. Crawl with me. We're on the other side. I've gotten a lot of tomatoes off this plant. This is a chocolate sprinkles. So it's like a red and green mix. Once they really ripen, they get really, really, really dark. So it's kind of cool. Maybe I can see one in here. Oh yeah, it's gotten a little darker. But you can eat them at any rate. I've been taking them off just so it'll help ripen the other ones that maybe, this is not the first time. Does anyone know what causes this? It's like a perfect pushed in hole. Like my thought would be some type of insect, but there's nothing, I don't know, it's just almost too perfect. Anybody? It's happened with another one, not a big deal, but just something I've noticed. Wow, beauty shot. And then we got some more Cherokee purples over here. A little smaller, I think, on this bush, but it may be just a little bit further behind. And then over here, I've gotten a couple little orange tomatoes off at the bottom. And this was the one I showed you from the other side with just full of handfuls of sun sugar tomatoes. Gorgeous. And I'm really loving the cherry tomatoes. They're just so easy to cut up and put on anything, take to work for my nanny daughter to munch on. I actually had them this morning on a bagel. Maybe I'll put in a little clip of that. Yeah, tomatoes are absolutely bonkers, living their best life, and so am I. So then we got the zinnia flowers. I've been cutting multiple times a week, getting at least one gorgeous bouquet to put in the kitchen to enjoy. But man, this plant's crazy too. Another addition I've done since the last video was put in some stakes after that crazy storm. I went ahead and just tied some plants up to some stakes. You can't tell, you can't see, but I felt like it was worth it. Wow, it's taller than me. Garden bed accounts for some of that height, but wow. Some rosemary that I actually have started to harvest off. It's becoming woody, which is good, but you don't want to cut that wooded part off necessarily. So I'm gonna have some good rosemary in the winter time, and actually if it doesn't get too cold in the winter, this will overwinter and it will continue to grow next year. So that's actually why I put it in the corner of the bed, because it's something I can let kind of do its own thing, and if it survives I get to keep it. So that's exciting. I've gotten some lavender, but it seems like the buds have dried off before this one got to take off. I just don't think they're getting enough sun here, but they still smell really lovely, so I'm kind of sticking with that. Maybe I won't do it next year. Here, chamomile, what can I say? She's gorgeous. Just looks like constellations, honestly, of flowers. I've picked these off like every other day to dry for chamomile tea. The more you pick, the more you get, so even though they look beautiful, you kind of got to do it. I guess I need to do it again today, but I love that. Nice addition next to the zinnias. But I have basil, lavender again, And gosh, this poor rosemary. I mean, it's still doing well, but it's definitely covered out, which we're just gonna have to live with. And then another tall basil in the back here. It's going crazy. Last but not least, I have gotten peppers. This is a poblano pepper plant. It's getting super tall. Tallest pepper plant I've ever had. Last year I grew them in containers, so of course they're only gonna grow to a certain height in a container. But here, so I'm not sure if this is typical or if it's because it's just stretching because it needs a little bit more sun now that it's shaded out by the arch. Either way, peppers normally produce later in the season. They really love the hot heat days, and so I expect to get some maybe by August, September even. But yeah, I think it's doing very well and healthy. And in terms of the arch things, because it's starting to get hotter, I'm expecting them to start dying out soon, maybe in a month, a couple weeks, and I can already tell there's some signs of just, you know, powdery mildew, things like that affecting the leaves. My thoughts were, if it gets sick and I end up ripping it out before the end of the season, I might do some sugar snap peas there and let those trellis up the sides. As far as I know, that might be one of the only trellising things that are cold hardy, that could do better in a colder season. If not, give me some other tips of something I could put there before the end of the season, before the first frost date. But I think that'd be really pretty too. Wow. Another fun item worth noting is the catnip. I have been harvesting this out the wazoo and drying it so the kitties have some nip in the winter. But man, it just keeps coming. Definitely have some catnip in your yard if you got some cats. Super easy to grow it in a pot. Surprisingly, doesn't take too much sun. Oh, and the kitties love it. And that is it. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me in the garden today. I look forward to sharing future harvests and maybe a couple meals with you that come from the garden. Take care.